Recently, a homeowner right here in Altadena, California, reached out to me and asked me if I could stop by their house and take a look at some architectural plans they had drawn for their home. They've been living in their home for over 10 years. They hadn't updated their kitchen yet. They had no family room, and they really wanted to expand their house, improve their kitchen situation, and create more space, living space in their property. And what happened was is that they obtained the plans from the architect. They started bidding the project out with contractors, and they were like flabbergasted that the project was actually going to cost well over $500,000, $500,000 for them to do this. And honestly, it really, really gave them pause. Now, they were towards retirement for sure, and that's one reason why they were sort of pausing and trying to figure out really where they wanted to go and what was their next move going to be, and sort of what return were they going to have on putting this kind of money in their home. And that's why they asked me out to take a look at these plans and to give them some really sound advice so they could make some good decisions. So they live right up the street from me, and I stopped by their home and met with them and looked at the plans. And what surprised me about the plans, not only about it costing, of course, more than $500,000 to do this project and the amount of time it would take, the thing that really interested me about how the plans were put together is that the additions that the architect drew and the finishes and the ceiling height and all these different details didn't match the traditional style of the current residence. And I really had a hard time wrapping my head around them spending over $500,000 and there not to be continuity in the feeling of their house as you move from the front all the way to the back to the family room. So number one, I was really concerned about that. I don't know if you guys have ever been out and about and been driving by a house and you'll see that there's been an addition, maybe a second story, and you're almost like, whoa, how did that ever get passed? How did that project get okayed? Well, this is kind of one of those projects that really made me pause for a second. Another issue with the house is that it had 3 bedrooms, and one of them was on the back of the house with 2 windows that overlooked the backyard. But at one time, way before they bought the property, those 2 windows looked out into the backyard, and there was a porch built, and they finally screened it in. So all of a sudden, it was now a 3rd bedroom that felt like it was an interior bedroom, because now the windows looked out onto this enclosed patio. And I was surprised the plans didn't include a way to resolve this bedroom issue, which I felt was a pretty big issue in the house. So I gave them my advice, and I was very concerned about them spending this kind of money, disrupting their lives in this way, when they weren't even 100% sure they wanted to stay in this area for very much longer. So after some thought, the family decided, honestly, not to proceed with this major project. They did some other improvements to the house. They renovated the kitchen and the bathrooms, and they were able to do a few other improvements that made the house much more enjoyable and livable for them. And then they have actually moved on and relocated, and were able to do so quickly and efficiently because they made improvements that actually improved the value of their home. If you ever are thinking about any kind of project around your home, I want you to feel like you can reach out to me. There's certainly never ever an obligation. I'd be happy to meet with you, take a look at your house, give you some advice on ideas or projects, or whether or not I think certain projects will add value or not, and of course, introduce you to any of my favorite vendors. I'm Cynthia Cohn, and I'm the owner and broker of Pasadena's residential real estate firm, Cynthia Cohn and Associates. You can reach me at 626-714-6808.